Hey guys, what's up? Here today in front of me is a Nissan 300ZX twin turbo. Now the last time I drove one of these was about a year ago, and it was a 2+2 model. You can see that video on our channel. With this build that Patrick's done here, I have a feeling it's going to be a lot more of a canyon carver while still keeping the good characteristics of a nice GT car. So let's go find out. Hey guys, what's up? My name's Marcus. Today we are in a Nissan 300ZX twin turbo, left-hand drive with 420 horsepower, going back to the rear wheels. And a little squirrely. And you know what? We're on a fairly bumpy road right now. The suspension's stiff, don't get me wrong, but it's not gonna beat you up, that's for sure. This car is easy to heel toe. Easy to rev match, very compliant to do whatever it is you want it to do. It's there for you.
Hi, my name is Patrick. I am the owner of this 1991 300ZX twin turbo. It has been mine for the past 5 years. Refreshed long block, new turbochargers, bigger intercoolers, manifolds, full flowing exhaust, intake, injectors, pretty much all your bolt-ons that you can put on the cars and put on. So it makes 420 in the wheels on 15 PSI. That's probably where it's going to stay at for now until maybe we decide to go the ethanol route.
All right, so the 300ZX. Once you're behind the wheel of one of these cars, first things you notice is the power band is extremely smooth, and even with aftermarket turbos that Patrick's put on here, the power's right there all the time. It's a very torquey engine, which is why you can put a decent sized turbo on these things and still keep that low end torque, and the turbos will spool up and everything just comes to life. Other things you notice about the 300ZX that kind of set it apart from a lot of other cars in this era and in this price point is the look of these cars. It's really got a unique look about it. Now, I much prefer this two-seater car to the 2+2 model. There's just no comparison. From an exterior standpoint, the 2+2, the proportions just seem a little bit off in my opinion, and in this red it really just sets it off.
It's funny because when I was actually looking for the first car to buy when I was 16, 17, it was a Japanese car. It was between the Skyline Supra, 300ZX, and just the looks of 300ZX kind of put me over the top. Just a low, wide kind of look of it. Like love at first sight kind of thing, right? So. And then I got myself a non-turbo when I was 17, and then had that for a year. And after that, I bought myself this one, and I've had this one now for 5 years counting. So yeah, I mean, it's perfect. Like to me, it's like out of all like kind of the Japanese 90s cars, I think it's kind of the most like car you can take on the highway, just cruise, go through the canyons and stuff. It really is comfortable. Like you sit behind the wheel, like it's really smooth. The torque, I love the torque on the car. Long intake runners, car makes good torque, and it's just really fun on the streets and in the mountains. So for that, I love it.
I mentioned about the turbos being small. That's just the beginning of it. The clutch is totally usable. The shifter feels great. The exhaust actually is not drony at all. I think Labrie's done a fantastic job of making it nice and quiet when you're just cruising like this, but then when you jump on throttle, it really wakes up and reminds you that you're in a car like this, and reminds you why you're getting all the looks you're getting when you're driving down the street. That power is just too tempting. It really is. So much fun. These cars just have so much potential, and I feel like a lot of people are missing getting into these cars just because of the horror stories they hear with reliability and working on the cars. But man, when you get a well sorted out car like this, it's fast. It's definitely fast enough to have a lot of fun.
To work on, you know, it's not that bad. You know, sure, it takes time to do some things. Sometimes you just gotta take a couple more things off than you would in your typical inline motor, for example, but I wouldn't say anything is really challenging. It's just time consuming. So as long as you're willing to just kind of put the time into working on it, it's a great car. So after about 6 months or so, OEM turbos, they began to puff some blue, so they had to be replaced. So we upgraded them to slightly bigger ones, GT2554R. Ball bearing design, newer technology. I didn't want too much lag at all, and I wanted it to just be a safe number for the street. I didn't want any horsepower queen. That was never my goal from the beginning. So just a fresh overhaul with some Wiesco Pistons, stock rods, and then so the turbos they're pretty much OEM size, slightly bigger, spools up pretty close to what your OEM turbos would do, and you get a little bit more top end, so it's kind of like the best of both worlds.
I really respect Patrick's decision in keeping it at about 420 wheel for the time being. Honestly, I think you should keep it right here. It's perfect where it is. Shifter feels great too. I've always loved the 300ZX, how notchy it is, how direct. It's pretty much impossible to miss a gear. He's got a 6-putt clutch in here, but I mean, it chatters a little bit off the line, but it's really easy to use. Nothing too dramatic going on there either. Shifts are really nice and crisp. Getting a little sideways there. Man, this is a fun car. It's a lot of fun. See if it hooks up in first. Not really. Not really.
The wheels are a working motion, 18x9 in the front, 18x10 in the rear with plus 38 offset on both of them. So we just had the 350Z rotor upgrade, stock caliper. Kind of idea, I guess, was just push the caliper a bit further out, more leverage with the brake pedal, better stopping power when you actually lay the foot down. So it's kind of a stock brake system, but just kind of more juice behind it. So it's fine for the street, like the whole build was supposed to be just for the street. And I wouldn't maybe take it to the track. It probably wouldn't do very well there like any other stock brake system, but for just around town and the streets and the highway, it'll do. So the new Zs are good. They really are. I work at a Nissan dealership, so I mean, I see the new Zs all the time. They have great new technology and features about it. I do wish they were more powerful. I mean, the 370s, and I wish they were turboed. It's kind of the two downfalls I don't like about the new Zs. So I mean, if the car came with, you know, a nice twin turbo setup like this one did, maybe make 400 brake horsepower, I think the market would grow for that car. And I truly think it's one of the downfalls is just the naturally aspirated Z.
Hooked up there. Now that's smooth. That is a very smooth power band. There's no drama. And I mean, it doesn't have a really big turbo on it, or big turbos. So there's no really loud turbo spooling up or any of that. It's just grip, exhaust noise, and go. You're just gone. Now the steering feel is leaving me with something to be desired here. I like a good weighted steering feel, especially when you get into a corner. The 300ZX's steering is really quite light, a little lighter than I would want in a car like this. But for a car with a GT car kind of vibe, I mean, it's got the weight to it. It's kind of hunkered down. So the steering kind of reflects that. Another great feature about the 300ZX is the T-tops, right? So this is your only summer car and you're not worried about the T-tops leaking in the rain. You can just have them off. It's almost as good as a convertible. I'm not a big convertible guy, but a target top like the Super has or a T-top is really awesome. I think it's great. You can let the sun in. Go for a cruise. That's really what this car is all about. Alright, you guys, anyways, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And remember, we've got new videos coming out every Tuesday and Thursday now. So, see you again soon.